Hello, welcome to Skies of Arcadia Legends. My name is Matt Smalley. I'm here playing this wonderful example of a Japanese RPG, and with me is my good friend and colleague, Mr. Sam Waters.
My pleasure to be here.
So, this is an RPG that was made first, I think, in the 90s or early 2000s, and released for Dreamcast. They then remade it and released it for the GameCube. Great choices of consoles there in terms of market longevity. But it's absolutely fantastic, and I'll let the intro speak for itself. Yes, we are indeed setting sail across the skies. Don't ask questions. Legends is the name of the GameCube re-release, so there's a little bit of expanded content in this as well. And here is a completely non-cliched pirate ship.
Okay, so music is already starting off on quite a high note. Oh dear, the map appears to have gone away.
Have no fear, for it is caught by... Okay, so there are cliches in this game. I'm not going to keep apologising for them because I will never stop apologising. Now at this point, you're probably assuming that these people are the baddies. Well, I wish I could disappoint you, but no, they're the baddies.
It's funny how sort of the grey, sort of gunmetal type appearances of airships always sort of seem to signify evil.
Oh yeah, no. Technology is evil, folks. That's why we're playing this video game. As you may just have noticed, this world, along with consisting of islands floating in the sky, has 6 moons. God knows how tides work, I have no idea. So that about sets the tone. Skies of Arcadia came out at a time when your sort of darker, broodier, angstier RPG heroes were very popular. And Skies is rather refreshing in that it says to hell with all that. We're going to have some cliche, we're going to have some old-fashioned adventure and good guys being awesome. Which is very nice. I have played the game before, although not for some years now. My colleague Mr. Waters here has never played before, so...
No, although I am familiar with some of the characters who I believe will meet reasonably soon from the Valkyria Chronicles series, where they make quite an impressive cameo.
Indeed. Anyway, we'll begin from the beginning.
The very best place to start.
Indeed. And we get the most dramatic asking of whether you want your controller to vibrate I've ever seen.
I was going to say, that's one scary looking eye patch.
I'm actually going to choose no so it doesn't come across on the microphone. Yes, fine. So here we go. The moon. So what we clearly have here is some horrific terrorist fugitive being bravely chased down by the hard-working soldiers of the people on this airship, right?
One wonders how she plans to make an escape in the dead of night, given that her airship appears to be emitting sparkles.
Yeah. One swiftly wonders how this girl got the task at all. And here we have Alfonso, who rapidly sets himself up as the least likable person on, well, Arcadia.
Somehow appears to have made it to the rank of Admiral.
Exactly what distinguishes concussion shells from real shells, we're never quite sure. The ship is damaged and brought to bear with a passable imitation of the Imperial March playing in the background.
And this, dear friends, is why you should build your airship with a functioning cockpit, rather than
Or indeed anything other than like a raft. But all is not well for Alfonso and his schemes.
Yes, it did sound like an explosion.
Lower hull has been hit. Someone is attacking us. With deductive skills like that, that's why it's an observation soldier.
That's what I say. Who indeed?
And cue our heroes.
Here's Comrade Greg Blackburn aboard the Victrix. Right, no, sorry, that's another campaign. Never mind.
He's clearly nowhere near the rope. Ah, run.
Ah, you rebel scum. Okay, that's as good a justification as any.
I still love the limelight.
Not quite all by himself.
Enter protagonist number 2, who fights with a boomerang. Seriously.
Yes. You already told us what you're going to do for dead bodies.
Cue battle sequence. Fortunately for us, the Valuan Imperial soldiers, despite being the playthings of an evil empire, are very fair-minded, and only 2 of the 5 in the previous cutscene attackers. Okay, so this is Skies of Arcadia's battle system. You will notice in the bar at the top, 2 out of 8, that is your focus bar, or something, and contains spirit points. Spirit points accumulate throughout the game at a rate throughout the battle, at a rate depending on your character's spirit stat. Spirit points are important because while you can use basic attacks for anything, you can also defend to prevent damage at any time. I'm familiarising myself with the controls. Spirit points allow you to use super moves, which are your heavy hitters. This one, Cutlass Fury, the only one we know at the moment, costs 7. Rather than attacking, you can have a character focus, which will add certain more spirit points to your pool. So, while Vice, who is our traditional heavy hitter, is going to be launching an attack in this round, we're going to have Ica focus to gain a few more spirit points. We don't need to do that, but I want to show you what Cutlass Fury does. So once commands have been given, characters act according to their speed. So we now have 5 spirit points available. So we'll let Ica attack.
I think you're supposed to throw the boomerang.
To be fair, you'll notice characters moving around the arena in what's almost entirely aesthetic only, but you will see them all use range attacks, which includes Ica throwing the boomerang, and I think it makes a very slight difference in terms of critical hit percentages where they are on the screen.
Quite ahead of its time as well. You said this was mid-90s originally?
Mid-90s or early 2000s, I admit I can't remember, but certainly not later than that. Okay, so we're going to have Vice use Cutlass Fury, and we're going to have Ica defend so that she doesn't kill the thing before Vice gets to do so. Just is very much a core in your attacks game. Most of the boss battles will be decided not by normal attacks, but by the judicious use of super moves. So there we are, we win, we gain experience, we get a little voice clip. We do experience, magic XP, which will teach us spells later, and gold. And we're very lucky to get a moonberry, which is what we consume to learn super moves. They're randomly spawned by certain random encounters, and we're fortunate indeed to have one in the first encounter of the game, so good fortune there.
So, Vice's eye patch is basically just entirely...
Vice's ice patch, as far as I can see, is entirely aesthetic. No, he can zoom in with it.
Oh, okay.
It's got like a lens.
Also rather bold in declaring that all guards on the ship should simply lay down their weapons and surrender.
Indeed. Especially given that there still seem to be 5 of them, so I'm not sure what happened to the 2 dudes who were supposedly just killed.
Oh god, somebody just got shot in the head.
Yep.
Okay, I like this man. I don't quite know who he is.
Introducing Captain Dine, sadly not a playable character.
Damn. Oh.
And Vice's father.
Let's go.
I love the soldiers sort of briefly turning around as if the... So, welcome to the good ship, whatever this is called, I don't think it gets a name. Here is a treasure chest. In this, like every other RPG on Earth, we will spend the entire game relentlessly plundering things. But I suppose we are pirates this time.
No, this is the closest thing we're probably going to do to any actual pirating. So...
Indeed. So we get a sacred crystal, which is something you can use to heal. We will... I see no reason not to use our moonberry at this stage. Now, Vice has... Oh, you'll note the title to the side.
Okay.
I will come on to how you increase your swashbuckler rating. Yes, seriously. Later. But it will affect our title throughout the game, and nothing else, but who doesn't like bragging rights. Currently, we are known as Vice the Unimpressive. Known as Vice the Unimpressive as well, which suggests that it's not just that no one knows who he is. People specifically know him for being unimpressive. Which is quite an achievement in itself. Anyway, Vice is now eligible because we have a moonberry to learn another super move. Unfortunately, it's awful. Vice takes a defensive stance, countering all enemy physical attacks for a full turn. When you're guarding, damage is reduced, and you have a chance of counter-attacking any physical attack and doing some damage. But you have that anyway, and that chance increases with your attack stat, so that by about halfway through the game, Vice will be counter-attacking almost anything anyway. This move is therefore almost entirely useless, but you do need it to get to the later moves.
It's a very basic kill streak.
Indeed. However, we are going to put into Icarus first. Icarus spins her boomerang, summoning a vortex of flame to strike all enemies in a line. Not a great deal of damage, but that is an example of where placement in the arena makes a difference, and it's very good for clearing out random encounters. Plus, her second move is a very strong defensive move, which we'll want to get as quickly as possible. So,
okay,
she now knows Alpha Storm, and we will move on.
Internal architecture just as ugly as the outside, I see.
Alfonso decides to do a bit of gloating.
So not quite an armchair animal then.
Oh, he's not going to fight us. What have we done with that idea? There you are, you asked how we got the job.
And
if you haven't noticed that these guys are the Spanish Empire yet, by the way.
Oh, I'm hoping we get the chance to kill him later.
Dispose of them.
Another fight with some even weaker soldiers this time around.
There are 4 of them now.
There are, but as we can one-shot all of them, even Ica, who's physically weaker, this battle should take 2 rounds.
And at least they appear to be slightly aware of how bad they are, as the 3 of them seem to sort of consider triple teaming Vice there, and then thought better of it.
I went to pick on the girl. I know that one's decided to have a stab at Vice. What are they using, by the way? Like batons?
I think it's meant to be some sort of Billy Club type thing, I think.
Well, it's not going so well for them. Oh, that one managed to defend. Fine, 3 rounds.
Ouch. More of a bonk than a stab, but close enough.
Hooray, death and destruction. My characters level up, getting customary boosts to stats. And Ica.
Okay, so the gems are different colours.
Wow, 2 encounters, 2 moonberries. The random number gods are smiling on us, and I'm scared for what is going to come later. I'm sorry, you were saying.
Sorry, the different colours of crystal we saw briefly there. Is it different types of magic?
Different types of magic. 6 schools of magic based on the 6 moons: red, green, purple, yellow, blue, and silver. They level up depending on what colour your weapon is. And you get moonstones throughout the game, which will allow you to change your weapon to the appropriate colour. At the moment we only have red and green. There is a slight elemental rock, paper, scissors thing going on, but not much. More important is that you switch to the spell, you switch to the category that you want your people to be learning. Ica has now learned a healing spell, Sakri, and there is an argument, in fact, for changing her over to red, and I might do that in the next combat, because red will allow her to use her magical stats to deal damage, rather than her boomerang, which will fail.
Fair enough. We appear to have company.
Well, we have random encounters at present,
Fair
and we
enough.
have Alfonso and his captain still sort of...
So let's recap. So we decided to randomly sort of attack this ship in order to claim the booty that was on board, and we've discovered that this rather effeminate admiral has stolen probably some sort of princess, I would guess.
That kind of thing, yes.
And we've decided to go and reclaim her because, well, apparently, if she's a princess, she'll be rich and will pay us something like that.
Oh no, we wouldn't extort her. This is a cheerful, cheery kind of
yeah,
game. No, we're doing this out of the goodness of our hearts.
Oh yeah, because we're
Maybe pirates, we're not animals, man. Okay.
Says as he gleefully sort of cuts down many guards that have families and parents and so
Yeah,
on.
but they're baddies. So you'll notice that we started off with these enemies with their back to us. Occasionally you'll get the chance to sneak up on your enemies, even though they attacked us. And we get a free round of combat, basically. We could use Alpha Storm here at this point, but because they're not in a line from Ica, there's very little point in actually doing so.
So you switch the colour of your weapon mid-combat then?
Oh yes, I forgot about that, sorry. Thank you for the reminder. I think you can do it from the inventory menu as well, but it's quicker to do it this way. We'll leave Vice with red for now, but we will switch Ica to red as well. There we are.
That was easy.
Vice has learnt our first offensive spell, Pyre, which deals
Fire?
fire, yes, but deals a small amount of damage to every enemy.
Okay.
And it's there for our cloud clearing spell, and I'm trying to get to that treasure chest over there. Alfonso realises he's shafted and makes an expeditious retreat.
Very slowly.
Very slowly, yeah. Unfortunately, we were suffering from cutscene paralysis at that point, and
Okay, we can at least rob him.
of course. Exactly why he has 50 gold lying in the chest on the maintenance deck, I'm not sure, but...
Probably some engineer's secret stash.
Oh good, we're robbing people's pension funds.
Oh, we are pirates.
Indeed.
I can't help but think that being able to sort of throw, either literally throw your weapon or some sort of force blade attack like that, kind of makes the guns obsolete.
Indeed, I mean, this is this is not exactly a scientific game, but insofar as you can, a technological era, we're in sort of vaguely steampunky thing where guns exist, pistols exist, but they're not all that reliable.
Fair enough.
We can use Alpha Storm now since it's in a line. We can skip these, by the way, but as they're playing for the first time.
Okay, no, that seems good. Vice mysteriously unharmed, despite standing directly in the path of the
Indeed.
horde.
That was easy.
Friendly fire, another horrific facet of the modern world excluded from Skies of Arcadia. And I can imagine that as highly excellent.
So, presumably all of your characters learn certain spells at certain ranks?
Yes. And if the alarms are annoying you, we can in fact shut them off.
Nothing to see here, the intruders have all been killed.
We've encountered a save point. I'm sure judiciously use it, just in case, I don't know, something catastrophic happens.
More chests.
More chests. Magic droplets, which restore MP. Casting spells take spirit points, which do not carry over from battle to battle, and magic points, which do. Magic points are normally pretty easy to keep, as magic droplets are dirt cheap.
Okay, so basically it's a choice between casting spells and charging up for your super moves.
Yes.
Okay. Right, onwards.
Alfonso has deployed the cunning tactic of a locked door.
Good God.
He has failed, however, to lock this door. Ah yes, here we will have our first encounter with something you'll be seeing an awful lot of in this game. Ladders. This ladder isn't too bad, only taking about... still a good 5 to 10 seconds at least to climb down. If you think this is bad, just you wait until you see some of the fucking ladders we have to deal with later.
I apologise to my colleague's profanity.
None, however. Our dastardly villain prepares to make his getaway.
Good God, man. With observation skills like that, you should be in the observation department.
To the shock of everybody, Alfonso is revealed to be a bit of a prick.
Yeesh.
So much for the vice captain. Shame, he almost seemed competent.
I get the feeling this is going to be our first hopeless boss fight of...
No, instead Alfonso reveals his trained...
Uh-oh.
thing.
Rhinoceros? Warbeast, apparently.
Welcome to boss fight 1 against Antonio.
The victory boss fight music.
Mm-hmm.
Try not to fall out the back.
I'll do my best. So yeah, basically the plan here is survive and use Cutlass Fury. Although at this stage we can probably make a few attacks as well, although... Yeah, fine.
So, question. Can Aika use all the spells from all the different colours? Or does she need to have the corresponding colour of weapon to be able to use
No,
that?
Ica can always cast a spell from a different colour. The colour of the weapon affects slightly the damage it will do depending on any other, only slightly, and the experience gains nothing more.
Okay.
Random number generator continuing its suspicious generosity. Ah, this could be ugly. It has a special move of its own.
So your bar at the top also recharges every each turn.
In this case by 2.
Okay.
Now we could use up that 2 to heal Ica, but crystals are cheap enough, so we'll use an item instead of the cheap.
Let's try this.
So that is green magic from the green moon.
Vice continuing his lightsaber duel with
And Ica will continue to be our mana battery. Not a very good one at 1 point a pop, but never mind. You notice the dynamic background music? Now that we're winning, it becomes a little more cheery, which is nice. So it might be about to go back down again. Oh, apparently not.
Yes, you are.
Sometimes bosses will skip a turn, eventually. It's the game's way of being nice. Assess damage does nothing.
Oh.
Maybe triggered because it's on low health or something like that, but it just skips a turn. No, actually, Ryan, no need for Vice to attack. Vice will focus, which allows us to have enough to cast Sacred without using up another crystal. That is the incantation for every single spell, and yes, it gets annoying quite quickly.
Oh well.
Yeah, could have been worse. This might finish him off, so Ica will simply defend. Oh, okay, I might have to use another crystal. Or just use regular attacks at this point, I think will do.
Does that happen every time she casts?
I'm afraid so.
Oh god.
feel like she's contributing. This is the bad you're about to die music, although we're still going to win. So you get about 5 seconds of it.
And the poor old beast is going to explode.
Explode, apparently. I'm not sure.
No,
Like,
okay.
That was a tough fight.
Well, we are at least
Yes.
given experience and gold and other good things.
Indeed. And yes, another moonberry.
Are we sure this isn't some sort of helpful glitch?
I don't know. If it is, marvellous. We're going to have all the super moves by about 2 hours in. Alfonso delivers a fateful warning and promptly fucks off.
I'll get you next time, Gadget! A cowardly one.
A rich coward, as Ica points out. And we ponder the mysterious concept of foreigners.
Mm-hmm. Well, we thought that she was a terrorist, right?
Don't know what you're implying.
Nothing at all.
Meanwhile, in a cryptic cutscene, all will be revealed later. But first, this terrifying sight.
Seriously?
Yep.
The albatross?
The albatross.
We just think we had to make a comment about the Ram of the Ancient Mariner here, but
Blue rogues are always there to help people and steal from them. Mysterious waif introduces herself as Fina, at which point we have a dialogue option. You remember the swashbuckler rating I mentioned earlier? At several points we will have an opportunity to choose a particular dialogue option, and we have to pick what a real swashbuckler would say. So we have to be gallant, daring, but not to the point of being stupid.
I shudder to think of what this game considers proper swashbuckling talk.
Well, I must admit I know most of these, and I will be intervening should you choose wrong, but I think it would be interesting to see whether you can guess what a correct swashbuckler would say at this point.
Well, it's probably not the second one.
Mm-hmm.
The third one seems too normal somehow. Go with the first.
You are correct. And the second one would be considered rather odd, and I think the third one would just be downright rude.
Mm-hmm. Vice clearly
Nice.
attempting the seduction very early on.
Indeed. Exactly, is an air pilot.
Well, you know, we're folk that sort of go through under the sea in a submarine and generally steal stuff from passing ships. Oh wait, no.
Now, you can see why somebody will be somewhat alarmed by that description. Ica hurriedly intervenes to remind her that, don't worry, we are Robin Hood and his merry men. Air pirates are divided into two factions, the Blue Rogues and the Black Pirates. The Black Pirates will attack unarmed ships. The Blue Rogues are fine because they only attack ships that have the nerve to try to defend themselves, presumably because of all the Black Pirates around.
So what about the unaffiliated air pirates?
I think they're kind of Black Pirates by default.
Ah.
One gets the impression that the only people who actually recognise this distinction are the Blue Rogues, although perhaps that's me being horrifically cynical.
In a game like this? No, never.
We rob from the rich and keep the gold. Okay, well, you're halfway there. However, we do at least consider the kidnapping of young women beneath us. So off we go to actually, do some work.
Note at this point they don't ask any of the important questions like what the hell were you doing out in a ship in the middle of nowhere by yourself and why was the Imperial Armada chasing you?
Well, no, to be fair, this is where the swashbuckler system... You said before that you dreaded to think what it comes up with. I mostly agree with the... Because you have the option to be that inquisitive, and it doesn't reflect all that well on you. There is a proper time for those kind of questions to be asked, and it is not now. And the swashbuckler system later on will reflect.
Okay.
Anyway, one of the nice things about this game is that you can wander around and get nice little descriptions from looking at various things. Vice giving you some important sailing advice, like remember to bring food. I'm not going to look round at each and everything, but it's kind of nice and it's a very aesthetically pleasing ship.
Go where?
Other lifeboats, maybe?
I was going to say, because...
Or maybe even the ship, as we don't see the ship again.
I was going to say, like...
You'd think we'd take it and sell it or something, but apparently not.
So yeah, so what? They just sort of took everything of value on board and sort of sent them off on their way with the... minus their leader, minus their captain and vice captain.
Apparently, yes. Ladder number 2.
I mean, to be fair, it makes a certain amount of sense that the airship would be full of ladders.
Oh yeah, and this one takes like under 10 seconds to climb.
Oh, this is a nice bridge.
It is, isn't it? A certain amount of panic as I wonder whether I'm supposed to know what all the knobs and levers do, but never mind. The map. Mid-ocean, considered the turf of the Dine family Blue Rogues, by the Dine family Blue Rogues. And Dine himself. He swiftly lectures us. We're heading home to Pirate's Isle. It's good to have a secret base. Blah, blah, blah. Sky rifts are one of the first immediately visible broken bridges. He gives warnings about them destroying your ship. If that doesn't happen, you just can't fly past them. So here we are. First time in charge of a ship. Dine asks if you want any information, like how do you sail? Fortunately, even I'm competent enough to use an analog stick, so off we go.
The luffing gauge?
Sorry?
Your left-hand bar. Fuel.
Altitude.
Oh.
Observe this island, and specifically observe the compass at this point. When a compass is swiveling around like this, you're about to make a discovery. You might say that you're about to discover that your compass is broken, but in fact, you have found the pirate's grave.
Charming.
An unknown blue rogue. Which we can trade in for money. Quite a few of those throughout the game, we'll see how many we get. Another thing, fish. You can go fishing by sort of driving into them. These fish are fairly worthless, but we'll see how many we can get anyway. Can I get the rare one? No, because of random encounter interruption.
You're being attacked by fish in
No.
the sky?
Oh, not by fish, by other things. Few basic enemies, including a looper. Loopers are really annoying because of their tendency to just fuck off.
The Abra of...
Indeed.
Indeed things.
Although this one will cast a spell first. I should probably heal before I embarrassingly lose to a random encounter. Yeah, basically you stand sod all chance of hitting them, and they will then immediately fuck off.
Yes.
Right, let's use some healing items, shall we? Or does Vice no sacri?
No.
No. Vice can use it to restore.
In true
I
RPG
couldn't
fashion
cast.
of the mid-90s, healing appears to be a woman's work.
Indeed. And as noted, the looper promptly disappears.
Probably good for us that it did.
Indeed, a parry at that point would have been quite embarrassing.
So, the enemies at this point consisting of Abra, Omastar, and Ghastly.
Apparently, yes.
Well, it's a pity we don't know any Thunder spells yet.
These things have an irritatingly high defense at this stage of the game. Indeed, Ico can actually do nothing. I can get counter-attacked. Yes, I think we're going to have to Cutlass Fury the bloody thing. I don't know why I bothered with that. Running from random encounters is something you generally want to avoid. Apart from it generally being good to get XP, your swashbuckler rating takes a slight hit every time you run.
Of course, because true pirates never ever run from...
Seriously, this thing is not dying. Right, we will try some spells, that might be better. But no, indeed, no true rogue would ever run from a fight.
One wonders what Alfonso's title would be.
Nope, we don't have enough. I think Ica is better. There's possibly someone who actually knows this game screaming at me right now, but... Hooray!
Is it over already?
Damn it, we didn't get a moonberry. Speaking of which... Delta Shield. Creates an anti-magic shell around all allies for 1 turn. You would not believe how useful this is.
So when we say anti-magic, do we mean it literally nullifies?
It nullifies magic.
Okay,
All
yeah.
magic for that turn.
No,
For 2 SP, and it's a priority move. In other words, it will go first.
Yeah, that seems like that would be handy when,
Actually leaves us with a spare moonberry, which we will use to get Vice's counter-strike out of the way. I really cannot emphasise enough how much good fortune we've had here. We've learnt 3 super moves already.
Okay. More hunting with the fish.
Indeed. Although, really, there's no point. Those fish will heal a whopping 1 health or sell for a whopping 1 gold. And another random encounter. Let's do some crowd clearing straight away to begin with. One wonders why the Looper bothered coming along in the first place.
Give me strength.
So you mentioned before about the different colours of magic and the different colours you're working with. Do we unlock different colours at specific story points, or...?
At specific story points, but we will be getting XP in the other colours of magic as we go, but not as much. It does not take long before you have access to all 6 moonstones. You're talking the opening sections of the story. But currently we only have access to 2. Let's talk to this NPC before we... more. Yes, as merchants we love economic uncertainty. So here we are, Pirate Isle.
Any particular reason given for why everything is floating in the sky?
None whatsoever.
Okay.
Cutscene as we approach.
Yes, the naive young Princess Garnet finally sort of out on her own after having run away from her sort of tyrannical mother who's sorry, no, this is definitely a different game. Never mind.
Vice wanders out onto the deck, presumably leaving the bridge completely unattended.
Oh god, here to flirt again, are we? I'm just happy to see I'm just happy to see that you're well.
Looks like we'll be reaching the island soon. With observation skills like that, you should be an observation soldier. Early on, Fina is almost as bad as Solid Snake for just repeating things.
Perhaps beginning to wonder about the kind of people she's fallen in with.
Indeed. Welcome to Pirate Isle, apparently populated by people doing absolutely nothing for the women's liberation movement.
Well, you know, Ica serves on board, so, you know, perhaps they're equal opportunity pirates.
Maybe.
This delightful bit of the Shire, just sort of floating in the sky.
Fina smiling down upon it. And by the way, if you had a problem with the geology of this game before, welcome to the completely hollowed out island.
Really?
Yep.
Okay. Well, I suppose it does park somewhere.
Indeed. out there waving his flags, reminding us not to crash or run into the guy waving the flags. It's as if it was never there. Ish. Apart from the clearly visible cracks in the rock. Anyway, welcome to Pirate's Isle, our admittedly kind of cool underground base.
Consistently good music, that's nice to know. And here are the spoils from the ship we nicked, presumably.
I hope you enjoyed that pirate raid, because it's pretty much the only one that our pirates do during the game. Tonight we should celebrate. You know, forget about pirates, there aren't enough aye-ayes in the game, that was a good one.
Fiddle-dee-dee, pirate is all I can be. Do what you want, the pirate is free. Yeah, robbing stuff from people is great fun.
Vice there, practicing for his career in writing guidebooks.
Even a tavern, of course. Pirates need to drink somewhere. Surprised there's only one.
Oh yes. No, we will be going to the tavern to see what pirates drink. Although we have been summoned to the captain's office. I wonder what that was all about. Maybe your captain wants to know what the mysterious girl is here for. Anyway, we've been told to hurry, so in true RPG fashion we will wander around. Aha, the first mention of Loqua. Yes, we're going to find what Loqua is in a minute.
Oh gosh. So, his title is Deck Swabber. Your title is the Unimpressive.
Yep. A wonderful collection of titles we have.
So I assume based on his entrance earlier that Dine's title is Captain Badass.
It should be. Save again, just in case of, I don't know, catastrophe.
Completely random note. The little knowledge of this game's sort of events and places I know is from a rather delightful fanfiction I read once that crossed it with Yu-Gi-Oh!
Well, you can see the crossover in terms of sort of tone. Welcome to the tavern. Captain Dine really does know how to pick his loquat berries. It shows full, yeah, 3 people.
A fine question.
You don't know what local is?
At this point, I'm wondering whether it's sort of this game's sort of alcohol, it's marijuana.
Well, this is the thing. Thanks to the Sega localization team, Loca is apparently made from berries. Mostly.
Okay, so wine.
Well, this is the thing. Sorry, dialogue. From what I can see, the localization team would have us believe it's just fruit juice.
You're pirates.
Yep, we're pirates
In a tavern.
in a tavern, and we've just taken down an enemy battleship, and we're sitting down with some nice fruit juice.
Right.
Seriously.
Oh boy.
Blah blah blah. That's slightly rapey, I'm just saying.
Yes.
Particularly that makes it sound really rapey. So we have this person going, God, if only I could rape someone. What the fuck?
Oh dear.
Anyway, yeah, the tavern does not actually do anything noteworthy. Continue with our little tour. Go and talk to Flag Dude. Still waving flags, apparently just as a reflex. It's coordinating the loading of supplies, which is going really well and no one's doing anything. Shop.
He looks very shifty.
Well, he is the black market. And charges us. We can talk to him. And he explains how moonstones work. And we have 373 gold. We can buy a better cutlass for Vice. Which we will do.
Ah yes, the obligatory buy equipment, equip your equipment, sell your old
Sell your
equipment.
old equipment, buy more equipment.
Time-honoured dance of RPG players. since
Vice
time.
received these swords as a gift from his father dying and immediately sells them. We might as well sell the fish as well, to be fair. All 10 of them. Armour or...
Well, Ica's not really going to be doing much physical attacking,
No,
right?
indeed. Armour would seem sensible.
Or probably shouldn't be doing much physical attacking.
Weapons and armour follow a fairly linear progression. These little trinkets are a little more optional.
So, attack defense is presumably your physical attack and defense.
Mm-hmm.
Willpower, your magic attack,
I think so.
magic defense, presumably.
I think that may affect the MP you have. I must admit, I'm not sure. I think we have hit percentage. I can't remember what DO stands for, and then quick, which is your speed. So we will equip Ica with the uniform of a low-ranking value and navigator. Probably somewhat fortunately, the armour you equip has no effect on what your character looks like, although weapons do change their appearance slightly.
So, here's a funny thought. Zach says that he has to charge you because he has to go through a lot of effort to get his gear.
Yeah.
But he seems to
Got
be
it
the,
from us.
I was going to say, he seems to be the pet merchant of your clan of air pirates, meaning he gets it all from you.
Don't ask questions. We have no money to buy items, but this is the item merchant who tells us some basic stuff about items.
And some of the tougher air pirates apparently don't bother with healing items. What?
Yeah, well, some of them are also dead, so you know.
I was going to say. I mean, come on, guys. This is RPG 101. This is RPG 101.
Ladder count 3.
You're not going to do this for the rest of the game, are you?
I might. There are a lot of ladders. These are the shorter ones. You wait till you get you see the one we have to climb in a minute. More NPCs. Oh great, my namesake is asleep. And finally we get to Diane's office.
And another of those maps that say that mark all of our terrain because we say it is, and we are a little late because we were dawdling around rifling through people's pockets.
Yes, although in true RPG fashion, you will of course be told off no matter how quickly you get there.
Well, that depends on what the questions are, sir.
Dine comes across very directly. What country are you from, and what the hell are you doing? And we get another swashbuckling opportunity. So, again, Mr. Waters, what do you think is the correct choice here?
I think from a swashbuckling perspective, it's probably to defend her, although I personally would probably favour the sit down and shut up approach.
Well, I said I would ensure that we got these right, and I would intervene at this point, because, in fact, the correct thing to do is know your place and listen to your captain. Although Aiko immediately comes in with what you would have said had you chosen the other option for the purposes of the plot. And is swiftly silenced.
Ouch. It's rather harsh. You're wearing funny clothes, therefore you might be a danger, therefore I will possibly stab you and throw you overboard. Like those people we were just stealing from.
Feenher, to her credit, gives a direct refusal. Don't you trust the people who go around shooting people and nicking their stuff?
No, generally speaking. What? No, that should have plenty to do with it.
Can't tell any living soul about the purpose of
Hang
my
on,
quest.
wait. If you can't tell them the living soul about the purpose of your quest, even if it means you die, and you then die, how is your quest supposed to be fulfilled?
Moreover, why was this person trusted with the incredibly important quest if she didn't know what the word pirate meant? Fortunately, Dine is a man of honour. From the whole pirate bit.
Thank you so much.
What exactly are you going to... Exactly what are you going to do with her?
She's our guest for now. So we can explore the office a bit. There's a cool looking flag. And a false bookcase. Leading to ladder number 4.
Please don't do this every time we see one.
Well, I'm sorry, but we've had 4 in less than an hour. And we gleefully steal the Air Pirate Pension Fund.
Well, I don't imagine there are many old air pirates around, so...
Well, not if they all insist on never using healing items. There are 2 treasure chests in these underground ports containing emergency supplies somewhere. You might want to look for them.
So we've just...
The thing about the emergency supplies is that they're presumably supposed to be saved for the use of an emergency.
Well, you know, we... No, I got nothing.
RPG character and I'm bored, that's
Yep.
an emergency.
Uh-huh.
I got no better justification. At this point, Aiko disappears. If you're wondering what the significance is, there isn't any. Like, she goes to freshen up, and you can trigger a faintly weird cutscene in a minute, which we will do, and then that genuinely appears to be the only reason.
To be fair, that's kind of refreshingly normal. Like, you know, I have just been sort of
That makes perfect sense, but
You know, just,
a little pointless.
yeah, but they have sort of just been cutting their way through, you know, imperial scumbags and sort of probably streaked
They have.
blood up to their elbows. But you know,
Vice, in typical male fashion, does not see the need to go and wash. Say it's Windmill Island. Nobody who lives here actually calls it by that name. We use it as a cover name to avoid getting caught by the Valuan Empire. You have a fucking hinge on the side that opens and a large ship with pirate flags goes into it.
don't think about it too hard.
Anyway, NPCs, blah blah blah. Friendliness. Like, slightly creepy.
Yep.
Again. Blah blah. Sort of a gossiping woman. Tells us about swashbuckling. And we can play with the children. And the dog.
That's a dog.
Yeah, but apparently, I'm not sure what else it's supposed to be. Fine, we'll play hide and seek. You know, it's a pretty intelligent dog if it knows how to play hide and seek. Although not very well, as it's clearly there. There are some vegetables. I'm not sure how long I can be bothered to go around and talk to NPCs. There's a training centre which contains tutorials. I think we'll skip that. Yeah, you have the perfect hiding place, but not for the fact that you have legs. There's a windmill from which the island gets its name. Where the hell are the other two? One's around here. Taking to high ground. Let me know if you see the small girl. I can't remember where she goes. Ah, found. Incidentally, I draw your attention on a completely non-prejudicial basis to that fucking ladder. Oh, gee, thanks. That's really useful.
Okay, charming. So we apologise for that completely, utterly pointless little diversion.
In exchange, here's another pointless diversion. There's a cutscene where you can... well, perv on Ica.
The
yeah.
music at this point is really...
Vice gets what he completely deserves. And that's it. That's
very early.
genuinely the only... I mean, yeah, early love interest, fine, but do you think this is the type of game with romantic resolution? Because I gotta disappoint you there.
I didn't think so somehow.
Anyway.
The voice seems to sort of hit on vaguely anything female that moves, so...
Well, so far, yes. Welcome to Vice's house. With his perfect housewife of a mother. Yes, we've got to go up.
They're not particularly imaginative with the names in this
No.
in this place, are they?
It's an island with pirates on it. What should we call it?
That being said, the sunset does seem to be actually rather pretty.
Well, yes, I mean we're above the clouds. Okay, so can you now see my point about ladders?
Okay, fair.
Do we have to climb it in real time? I mean, really.
So this is 5?
Ladder number 5, yep. I mean, how the hell they put it up, I have no idea. Incidentally, if you saw the little sparkle in the sky, no longer visible. You can kind of see it near the sun.
Yep.
That will become relevant later on. And here we are on Lookout Island, contemplating the beauty of the world. When suddenly what's basically a meteorite. We continue with our imaginative naming policy. It's an island with a shrine on it.
Moonstones. Stones that fall from the moon.
Yeah. Air pirates. Pirates who are in the air. Rogues who are blue. You see the...
Pirates that are black, etc., etc., etc.
Indeed. Tina finally demonstrates some knowledge. Although not too much.
Can't be getting ahead of ourselves now. No, Vice is almost certainly not thinking what you're thinking, I think. Oh, well, apparently, so.
Incidentally, you commented on the soundtrack earlier, and it does, in my opinion, remain of high quality throughout the entire game. This track in particular. What? I can't hear you. I'm up an impossibly tall ladder.
Well, I wouldn't recommend taking the quick way down.
Indeed. Blah 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 blah. Friendliness.
She basically has
Vice
to.
clearly walking off the side. And Fina looks up at the moon. Time passes. We don't have to climb down the bloody ladder.
How much further did you want to go with this one?
Shall I land?
Sure.
the next bit. If that's all right with you.
By all means.
Okay, so a new dawn, a new day dawns bright and clear on Windmill Island.
Not which is not at all piratey.
Nope. The windmill creaks into action. Six.
I'm not sure this counts.
Alright, fine. Less than 2 seconds. We'll void that one. Fina not convinced.
Well, she doesn't seem particularly combat capable.
Indeed. And we receive a purple moonstone.
It occurs to me that gaining magic experience by repeatedly hitting enemies over the head with swords is a somewhat unusual way of learning spells.
Well, yes. Unfortunately, we don't get to take the full albatross out on this short expedition, and we get the shitty sort of lifeboat thing. Moored up here at, I don't know, bit of rock island or something. Briggs wishes as well. Explains to us what moonberries are, we already know. And off we go. Gonna make it with no random encounters. And there we are. Welcome to Shrine Island.
Trying to what exactly?
Not a phallic symbol. But as to that, we will find out.
Try to avoid being eaten by sharks.
I'll do my best. Yes, I think if we weren't on board with doing the treasure hunt, we probably wouldn't have come all the way out here. Off we go.
We even have the how bad can it be?
Yep.
So no doubt there'll be some horrible Gridley related boss fight.
Welcome to the somewhat creepy old world temple with the curse of things to come.
Old world?
Old world. Civilization that once was.
Earth that was before we fled to the skies, etc.
Etc. Yeah.
Well, yes, that's what.
That's what happens when water goes in. Moonstone is at the bottom. Well, yes, ain't gravity a bitch. Although we probably shouldn't consider the specifics of how the hell gravity is supposed to work in this land of floating islands. Oddly enough, for a pirate, Vice cannot swim, so the correct answer is find a way to drain the water. This is not a swashbuckling opportunity, you just have the opportunity to be done.
So you said. Okay, so we have a bit of puzzling to go along with our...
It's pretty damn linear. But yes, theoretically.
Lots of enemies.
Yep.
Might I suggest setting fire to somebody?
We're going to, don't we?
Move! Give me strength!
No Skyrim character would approve.
Indeed. Not a bad start. We also got the jump on them, so we get a free turn. Try and conserve some MP. Okay, managing to contribute. Well done. Vice almost managing it.
So purple ice magic.
Yes, actually it might, again, not be a bad idea for me to change Vice over to that. Basically that is offensive spells but targeted at a single opponent, whereas Red does area, Red
Fire
does
magic
target.
area effect. This makes sense.
Well, yes.
Fire, the colour of explosions and whatnot.
We've acquired a Marcus Shell, which increases defense. Have a look at what equipment they start off with. We have a ribbon. It improves quick. Quick can be quite important for a healer, so we'll leave it there actually. It's an RPG. There's lots of dungeon grinding, isn't there?
That's perfectly fine.
Fortunately, we should be able to kill these with a single pyroblast.
So your magic refreshes at the end of each battle. Your spirit points don't. Is that right?
No, vice versa. Spirit
Okay.
points do not carry over from battle to battle. MP does, so MP is depleted as you go.
Okay.
However, I believe you are fine for magic droplets. Curio Crystal cures status effects.
I'm still thinking about some potions, ethers, and remedies, but yeah,
Yeah, that's fine. They're the same thing. Out we go, and we activate a weird crystal thing. On the RPG principle of fuck it, why not?
Well, nothing bad has ever happened by pushing a random button, right?
No, I mean, it's not like the entire temple could shift and start sinking into the earth.
What?
Oh, wait.
Oh. That doesn't seem helpful.
Exactly why the temple has a button that does this is something we will never know. The old world was weird.
Up to and including its treasure chests, apparently.
Anyway, hoping we've altered the geography a bit now, we move back in. These now light up. Another thing that has no discernible effect. Incidentally, recognise them from anywhere?
Not particularly.
Well.
Snake!
I'm not even going to bother trying the looper at this point. You'll notice we're now generating 3 points a turn. Which is very nice. It means with the focus we're only 2 turns away from a proper skill. Not yet. Not quite yet at the point where we can get Alpha Storm straight away. But we'll get there. Okay, so we can now clear most of those in one turn. With multiple markers, that will slow us down. Apart from that, there's really remember to switch Vice over to purple. Yes, they get tedious.
It's okay. Just enjoying the multiple sort of ways of cutting to the combat screen.
Indeed.
Switch to...
We have a Latro. They are vaguely strong, if I recall correctly. So we'll go for Cutlass Fury on the next turn.
Fair enough.
The Looper buggers off. We should be able to one-shot kill the Sea Serpent thing. Okay, it was defending, so it survived, although still only just. This thing was quite a headache.
I was going to say, it seems to hit rather hard for... Starts to level in. Did you want to switch Vice to...
Yes, never mind. Viewers may conclude wonderful things about my short-term memory.
Increment.
Increm is very important. Increm is your stat booster
Okay.
and is absolutely invaluable during boss fights.
Any particular stats or just all?
Offensive stats.
Okay.
So that increases your damage output. And Vice will be our chief damage dealer. Anyway, this door now goes somewhere else due to us rearranging the architecture. And we can now walk around on a thin walkway without any railings. Just one misstep away from falling into the void. Great idea.
And also we're going to have combat out here.
Yep. Against giant fishy things.
That's it. Okay.
I'm changing to purple, I have now remembered. We attack the giant fishy thing and set some things on fire. It's quite tough.
Moons, give me strength.
And I think see above, although we will now need to use some of the MP crystals.
Give me strength.
Oh, fiddly dee, being a pirate is all I can be. If you want as a pirate, just be. You are a pirate.
Thank you.
Oh, come on, is this or commentary on light? If you'd like, I can get the actual tune, and that would sort of...
They're fine.
If our dear viewers would like to send in sort of requests for things vaguely parody for me to hum over the victory music, please let us know.
Don't give him ideas. Right. I'll use two of those. If we burn through them, we burn through them. It's not the end of the world. Yes, fine.
I don't know what you're talking about.
Number 6. This one counts. That was longer than 2 seconds.
Yes, yes. Careful, you nearly wandered off the edge there. Can you wander off the edge?
No.
Pity.
Believe me, I would be being far more careful if you could. Speaking of being utterly foolhardy.
Oh god, this is not gonna...
Run.
Yeah! Well, I guess now we understand why no one's ever been able to plunder the treasures of this place before. That would kill most people.
Go back inside and we'll head this way because there's treasure that way. Another moonberry. Our cup to run off over, but I believe we're probably at the stage now where we need 2. 2 for Vice's next super, although it'll be some time before we can even get the maximum SP needed to use that one. And yes, indeed. Still, as I say, we've had an extremely good start for Moonbones.
So back to our tomb raiding.
Temple raiding. Why not actually be a tomb?
I'm sure there's a zombie or two floating around somewhere.
Yeah, just mysterious old world guardians of whom man does not make to what of.
Oh great, so it's Cthulhu sleeping at the bottom.
Let's use up some of Vice's MP for a change. Nope.
Wounds, give me strength.
Well, we did 1 damage to it. And it has the audacity to fight back.
Just a rather myth that you managed to hold it.
Indeed. I mean, we could try the special move, the super move on it. I can't remember whether that counts as damaging it or not.
Okay. Might also be an idea to heal after this one.
Indeed. Nope.
Okay.
And it probably sods off.
We did it!
It ran away.
We killed the others.
True.
Yes, let's heal. So I'm not short on sacred crystals.
So there's another chest down there, which I imagine we'll get to later. But for now, we have to work our way around the outside and find another door to let things out.
Quite so.
Hopefully this time we won't nearly drown.
Seven.
Yes, thank you.
Required. More sacrifice crystals, which are the slightly better versions. We now have 4 of them.
Is that another? Is that another?
That's number 8.
Okay,
It's not me who put all the fucking ladders in.
I'm starting to see that maybe you might have had a point about the ladder spam.
These ones are fairly tame. Although I must admit the Lookout Island one takes the piss. We're in a dungeon and there's a save point. Whatever could that mean?
Oh, this is nothing could possibly
We're
go.
fully healed? Yes.
Nothing could possibly go wrong here.
Save. We nearly die.
Yeah. Okay. Right. Yes. Oh well, onwards and upwards.
There we are, the moonstone.
Don't. Oh, great. Some form of golem?
Indeed,
Sentry.
the old world does not take kindly to its treasures being disturbed.
It's a rather large fellow. Uh-oh.
Boss fight go.
That's considerably bigger than the last one.
Indeed. Appropriately named a Sentinel. And our plan will be much the same as last time.
Yeah.
I've waited like an hour and a half to make that joke.
Target search. Might be a good idea at this point to duck. Effect as well, but we managed to dodge the worst of it quite nicely.
Okay.
This gives us an opportunity to cast Income on Vice. Might as well keep the spirit pod meter up. So I want to attack it. Sorry, we have enough healing items I'm going to.
Lead on.
Ica, however, will be on the list. And that's what Income does for you. Almost double damage output on it.
Wears off after a while, I see.
A fairly long while, but yes.
Okay.
Yeah, doesn't kind of hurt. Time for healing.
Moons, give me strength.
You rapidly get to the point where you're pleased when you attack Vice because his counter-attacks are frequently far more damaging than themselves.
I'm going to go for a fist fight there.
And you can take the opportunity to make sure she's okay.
Let's try this.
Reminds me of an RPG I played once called Shadow Hearts, where they'd done the localization quite well as far as the voice acting was concerned. With one exception, they forgot to dub the voice animations they used when they were using items, meaning that the characters spoke English everywhere except when healing themselves when they would inexplicably start shouting in Japanese.
Oh, why not? It can be a magic-y incantation thing. Heal, there's no reason not to. We don't even need Cutlass Fury at this point, but
Moons, give me strength.
we might even finish it with a counter attack. Fine, for drama's sake.
We should have the full animation for this one, I think.
Indeed. You read my mind. Hopeless explosions again, although I guess that could have had some kind of...
Yeah, no, that makes a bit of sense.
Victory and a healthy slice of XP.
And we're rich. More rich, anyway. Rank up. Yes, income.
Income from our support character. Excellent. And another moonberry.
So we are drowning in them.
Indeed.
Excellent, excellent.
Ica ponders on the fairly inexplicable nature of the boss fight. Some kind of ancient guardian, fuck it, who cares?
Vice. Keeping his eye on the prize. Yes, we've said this 3 or 4 times already.
Don't worry about fuel for a while. Although they were wondering how they were going to carry it a moment ago, which is not addressed whatsoever.
I don't know, I find that quite cute.
Yeah, well, that was the first time.
Oh, okay.
Meanwhile, Bend the lookout, prepares for a long day of, well, looking out. Which he does by closing his eyes.
Oh.
Trouble ahoy.
So the elaborate disguise of Windmill Island actually not.
About as effective as you'd think it was.
Oh boy. Still doing the job of looking out, I suppose.
Yep.
Why do I get the impression this is not going to go well?
Possibly because we're completely and utterly outgunned. It's fine, they're only concussion shells. Oi! That was my house.
Dying once more, showing his sense of honour.
Indeed. Almost dying for it. I never thought they'd find us. Well,
I say, it's not as if your island moves, Dying.
why do you think they are? Well, my lord, they might be at the place known locally as Pirate Isles.
No, far too obvious.
We're not dealing with Alfonso anymore. Meet Galcian. And Ramirez.
And for a Gestalt. Wow, okay. You're...
Not a nice man.
Yeah.
So yeah, basically the entire Moonstone plot is an elaborate diversion.
So that we're not at home when our home is
Indeed.
no more. And then an elaborate revenge plot shall begin, and we'll spend most of the rest of the game chasing the bastards that killed. Is that alright?
It's not the least predictable of game plots, I must admit.
That's okay. Tropes are
I
like
think
that.
we shall head back and discover what has happened to our honourable colleagues. We are going to the right way. We get, I think, advance warning of... Oh no. It's one about the Moonstone, we have more pressing matters, like this random encounter.
Will this be in any way related to Imperial shenanigans, or is it just going to be another random... Yeah, no.
What did you think? You can do the heavy lifting. I'm glad we're level 7.
Moons, give me strength.
Yes. Power of the moon in the name, you know.
And the power of the Great Storm and so on.
Don't worry, I'll try not to find the Sailor Moon theme for next time.
Very good. Both level 7. And we can probably use his moon nose actually. Ice summons the power of lightning to rain down upon all the enemies on the screen.
Bzzzt.
We cannot yet use it, as we do not have 14 SP.
So, right. So there are 5 super moves per character
yes.
for the entire game.
Yes.
And we're basically nearly half.
Yeah. It's not always this easy, and there are more characters.
Okay.
But yes, no, this is uncommonly good. I would have expected maybe 1 random Moonblue by now, not 3. Here we are, a somewhat diminished looking Pirate Isle.
Okay.
Those valuing bastards, they destroyed our theme music.
God. Someone will pay dearly for this.
Although they did kill the ladder, so you know, we've got to thank them for that.
Enough about the frickin' ladder.
We discover Flagman.
What's... Oh, good. You
Barely had time to warn the others by running off. Apart from you. I see a chest over there, which reminds me that I missed the other emergency chest. We'll grab that before we...
Well, this probably qualifies as an emergency.
No, to be fair, this probably does qualify as an emergency. Although it's still not enough to persuade Zack to sell his wares for free. Another person, incidentally, who survives.
No doubt he has faith in our victory.
Yep, thank you for that. With observation skills like yours. Oh, a cool ship. Now we just have the shitty lifeboat.
You already know this. Well, it's obvious. We're the heroes.
Easy one for you here.
Yes, no, let's go and get them back.
Cue upbeat music.
Dare to be badass, my friends. Voicing reason there.
Indeed. Although this planning does in fact boil down to let's sleep and then go there. Meanwhile, on board the Serpent. Valuing soldier making the most of his brief speaking part there.
Looks like he's in the observation department. Interesting. Ah yes, I forget. No living soul may know of my quest, even if I should die and then my quest be lost to...
Etc. Indeed. bit of mystery there to whet your appetites.
Galcian seems like someone not to be messed with.
Indeed. In the meantime, the other emergency chest is hidden behind this.
Is that a gravestone?
I think so.
Oh god, that's morbid, considering...
I'm not sure what else it could possibly be, but... My favourite theme, incidentally, and one we will hear more at a much later point in the game. Uninhabited island that they seem to have chosen for this little pirate isle post-invasion. Oh look, another moonberry. And I believe I saw another chest in someone's garden in the last exploration bit, so we'll go grab that. Have our triumphant send-off, and then... here. Oh no, not the turnips!
Bastards.
Oh, we actually can't... Okay, I guess I have to wait for them to fix that before I can get that chest. That's actually vaguely annoying.
God damn the Armada.
Well, we've had plenty of moonberries, you know.
Shh.
So here we are, our plan to set sail in a lifeboat and cross our fingers.
Yep, pretty much.
Gotta say goodbye to the dog first, of course.
Can't the dog come with us? He seems like he'd be handy in this crap. Oh, that I come back safe?
Swashbuckler choice?
Yes, we promised to come back.
Blah, 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 small children.
Blua is implied to be some sort of fairly advanced civilization, right?
Valuar is a continent under the yellow moon, which means it has the power of electricity.
Right. And our plan is to break in... Oh, this really isn't going to go well, is it?
I will leave how we get into the joys of your speculation until next time, I think.
Okay.
And off we go. Good, good. I'm glad we know where it is. That's a start. Well, you are. Here we come.
I'm sure the Armada is...
Why are we flying the pirate flag? Come on, guys. A little bit of subtlety.
I'm sure the Armada is terrified.
Mm-hmm. Okay, well, I think that will be a good place to leave it until next time.
Thank you.
We're very grateful to you all for watching, and we will hope to see you soon.
Yes, thank you all for joining us on this one. Right, for now, take care, and we'll see you all soon.